Hello everybody, Luke back here with another review of a Honeywell T5 thermostat. Now I've reviewed the T6 Pro here. Now this T5 has a few different features, a few less features I should say, and does everything else the T6 Pro does. It is Wi-Fi enabled and it's a very simple, easy to use thermostat. In this video I'm going to be breaking down the pros and cons of it. I am recording this on my phone. It's very hard to record this here, so I apologize about the glare and the audio, but hopefully this works for you. We can give you a good breakdown of everything you need to know about this thermostat with it. Now we'll put a link to this on Amazon down below if you want to find it there and pick it up. And if you're new here, help us out. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. So hopefully they recommend our videos to more people, helping us grow the channel. We would really appreciate it. With that said, let's dive into it. Now, right off the bat, you got this very basic user interface here. I really do like this compared to a Google Nest Home or some of the others. This is a very simple yet elegant looking touchscreen. It's not flashy. It's not nearly as statement making as some other thermostats on the market, but it does what it needs to do, and it's very simple to use, very simple to understand. That's the reason I picked it for this unit here with it. Now, this is the standard at rest screen. You can see you can control the brightness of this a little bit, adjust it, and you can completely dim it out if you have it in your bedroom, for example, you don't want it. But just to control it, you just tap on it, and then you can set the temps up and down right here. You can go into mode and rotate through heat, cool, off, and emergency heat. I have a heat pump in this house, so emergency heat there, and an auto. So you can just say, hey, I want it to hold this temp, and it's going to switch back and forth between that mode and heating and cooling for that as needed with that. Now the fan does have a few options. It has circle, auto, and on. I'm going to set this to auto so it only runs when it's actually running the air conditioning. On, it's just always on. Auto runs whenever the heat or air conditioning is on. And cycle air will run when the heating or air conditioning is running, and it will also randomly throughout the hour activate and then circulate the air through your home, helping you purify the air. A nice little feature there for it. Now it's pretty simple. You just tap right through here to get back to whatever setting you want. I think most people will typically leave this on auto and just run it when they're actually having the heat or the air conditioner running. If you're like this home down in Florida, it's running quite a bit, so you don't need to worry about trying to schedule the air. Now, if you go into the menu here, you do have the ability to create a schedule. I have mine off. We're here pretty much all the time, so I have it set to a particular temp with it, and it's very easy to do with that. And you can edit that right there on and off. I will say the scheduling in here is doable. You can go in here and edit this and adjust it through this app and get through there in the settings. You can go home time, sleep times, awake times, away times, whatever. So you can say, hey, every day at 6 a.m., turn on the air conditioning, or turn it up a few degrees or down a few degrees, whatever you may want. And then when I go to work, turn the temp up a few degrees so I save some money. And then maybe around 4:30, start cooling it off so when I get back from work, and so on. You can set up for weekends to be a different schedule and more with it. Honestly, it's doable to set up on here. There is a Wi-Fi app, which I'll include a link to at the end of this video, or not a link to, I'll include an example of it at the end of this video. It's a lot easier to use than trying to go through here and all the different settings. Doing it through your app is a lot easier. You can also go in here and create a screen lock. So if you didn't want to have kids messing with it, you can lock it out. If you're a dad like I am, you know how that goes. So there's a full lock, which none of the controls work. There's a partial lock with it, parental lock with it, so you can set codes and more. And you can just have a little PIN code to access it, for example. You get the device info, equipment status, reset it back to factory default, temp scale, clean screen. This clean screen just locks the screen so you can wipe it. Honestly, I just wipe it off with a dry cloth when I need it. You can adjust the clock on this. And more. And here's where you go in the brightness and you can adjust how bright it is when it's actually in use, on use, and more, which is a pretty nice little feature there. And you see it's saving. And then there is Wi-Fi. And you can go in here and set up Wi-Fi. Very easy. Download the Honeywell Home app, enable the features on it, and you have the ability to have the app Wi-Fi all set and running on this. And through the Wi-Fi, you can also go in here and control it through Google Home, Alexa, and many other different systems, so you can control that right through here. So it's a pretty nice little feature with it. Very easy setup, very easy to run, no monthly fee, which I like. You don't have to pay to use the Wi-Fi, all the different features, the pair it to Alexa, the pair it to Google Home, and more. Very, very simple. So with that said, 2 thumbs up. It does what it says it's going to do. I really do enjoy the ease of this. You want to turn the temp up, you want to turn the temp down, it's right there. You don't really have to do anything else. You're very, very happy. You're very, very easy to understand it at home. So if you have any questions on this, leave me a comment, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And now I'm going to jump in here and play a video I've previously recorded that shows how the app works. Again, though, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. We'll appreciate it. Now check out how the Honeywell app works. All right, real quick look at the mobile app. Now, one thing that's really cool about this is you can go in and have the ability, for example, to have multiple homes. You have a vacation home or a rental property you're using to do this. This is a great way to control multiple homes. But, you know, master bedroom in here. Right here I can see runtime, and you can see it ran for 2 hours yesterday. Pretty straightforward on that. You can see months. You can set up the schedule in here. Now I have the schedule off, but you can go in here and say awake, away, home, and more. Play around with it. Kind of always be careful. I think some people really try to go into huge temperature swings, and huge temperature swings aren't good for your furnace and can actually cost you more money than you're really saving. And then you also have the ability to change the settings here. Go to fan, always on, and more with it. Lastly, you got the mode, heat, cool, and off. Hello everybody, Luke back in the studio now. Just to close this out, 2 things I really didn't make very clear in this I wanted to. At the beginning I said I'll tell you what this model doesn't have compared to the T6 Pro. There's actually something that this model has that the T6 Pro from Honeywell does not. Now, the one feature that this model is lacking compared to the T6 Pro, other than the fact that this is a black unit and the T6 Pro only comes in white, is the ability to have additional sensors with it. Now with the T6 Pro, you can buy Honeywell sensors and put them around your home. And for example, you could say, hey, instead of using the thermostat to sense the temp, I want the sensor I located in my bedroom or maybe in the living room downstairs or wherever to be the device that sets the temp for the home, which is kind of nice. You know, especially if, for example, you really want your bedroom comfortable, you can put that sensor in there. When I lived in Texas, our master bedroom always seemed to be a little bit warmer because the sun hit it than the rest of the home. It was kind of, you know, that would have been a really nice feature to put a sensor in that master bedroom. This model does not offer that feature. It's something that the T6 Pro does. This one does not. Now this actually does have a feature that T6 Pro doesn't have, and that's the ability to have auto switch between heating and cooling. Now if you've lived in Texas or areas where big temperature swings are the normal, like I did in Texas, where you wake up and you want the heat on because it's very cold, but by the afternoon you want the air conditioning running. This does allow you the ability to set auto. For example, you could say, hey, if the temp drops below 70, kick on the heat and warm the house up. But if the temp goes above 75, kick the air conditioning on and do that. Now there is a range, you can't get too close, you can't have a 1 degree difference with that. But it is a cool feature, something that we used quite a bit when we lived in Texas. Our thermostat did it because it was at night, in the middle of the night, it would get quite cool out there, but during the day it would get quite warm. So the ability for it to auto switch and you not constantly going to the thermostat and flipping it back and forth was a nice feature I really enjoyed. So there is that plus there. Other than that, these 2 models are basically the same, other than this one comes in black and the T6 Pro comes in white. Really, I don't think you're going to go wrong with either one. I do find it mysterious the T6 Pro does not have the auto switching. The ability to have sensors is cool. I think most people, where your thermostat is, it's typically put there by a professional to be a good spot in your home to regulate the temp, not by any windows, not by any big drafty doors, for example. But it is kind of a cool ability if you do want it to be able to say, hey, from my master bedroom, I want it to have the sensor there to make sure that master bedroom stays comfortable. So keep that in mind. Overall, 2 thumbs up for this device. It's a pretty nice thermostat. It does its job very well. Now, if you have any questions, I will put a link to this on Amazon down below so you can find it there. And I will also link to my T6 video I did for the T6 Pro here if you want to check that out. Thanks for your support. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. Check out our over 400 other videos. It will really help us. We have a wide range of other reviews and texts and how-to videos, all kinds of stuff here on the channel. Help us grow this channel. very close to 10,000, we would appreciate your support. So until next time, take care, be safe, thanks. We'll be back real soon with another video.